Videocast. What we're going to talk about this month is our 7th through 12th grade restructuring here at Northland Pines. Beginning with the next school year, September of 2017, we're going to be moving our 7th and 8th grade students into our current high school building. Yes, it will be a 7-12 building. However, it's going to be run as a middle school and a high school. So think of it as having two schools under one roof. And what we want to talk to you today about is that transition, what's taking place, what we've done to prepare, and why we're doing this. I'm here right now with Mr. Dan Marine, who is currently the middle school principal, and Mr. Marine will be moving over to this building next year and serving as a 7th and 8th grade principal. So you can see right away the kids are going to have a very familiar face in the building with their current principal moving over with them. We're also going to be meeting the other administrators who will be serving our students in grades 7-12. Mr. Marine, welcome, and I know that you have spent the last few months actually not only preparing your staff but preparing your students for the move next year. And I've seen you over here towards the end of the day during passing time with a group of students. Do you want to just talk to us about what you're trying to accomplish?
The tours that we're doing, I bring over 3 homerooms during our homeroom time. We come over a little bit early so they can see at passing time what it looks like in the high school today, so they can actually visualize that. Then we walk around and we look at the classrooms, where their classrooms are going to be, where their lockers are going to be, how the lunchroom's going to work, what they get to do before school, things of that nature. So the questions that we're getting at this point are, where do I go for lunch? How do I get my food? Where's my locker going to be? Where is the gym locker room going to be? So these are all the questions that we're trying to get out of the way and answer for the kids before the school year starts.
And I know the questions they have about classrooms is, where is this room going to be? Where is that room going to be? And we're upstairs actually on the 2nd floor, and we're in between 2 pods and a bank of lockers. And this is going to be the 7th and 8th grade area where they're going to have their core classes and their lockers, correct?
That is correct. The 7th grade lockers will start here at the end of the hallway. 8th grade lockers will be here, and then the 9th grade lockers will be at the end of the hallway. So basically what we're going to bring is the entire middle school this year is going to be housed up here next year.
So for the most part, they're going to be in one area of the school. However, we do know when they utilize special areas, tech ed, science, the library, the cafeteria, the field house, they're going to be going throughout the building into those areas.
That is correct. And that in the questions that I fielded from the kids, that is not their concern. Their concern is more of the daily routine, just because it's a new building. That is really their concerns. And we've been working with the students of all grade levels, all 3 grade levels of the middle school this year, throughout the entire school year, about what their concerns were, what their questions were. So we started answering these within our building back in October, and now it's time to get them into this building to actually see what it's going to look like. Last year and this year, we've had over 40 students from 7th and 8th grade taking high school classes. A lot of those students do come to the high school building, so they leave early from their middle school class, they get here on time for their high school class, they leave here at the end of the class, they get back late to the middle school class. So it's a lot of the running around there, but the other issue that we have is we have 10 staff members that are shared between the high school and the middle school. So we're covering the first 5 minutes of a class over there with somebody, a teacher that has a prep. There's not a whole lot of instruction going on. There's normally some activity to do, and then this staff member comes from the high school to the middle school. So I mean that is as big of an issue, if not bigger, than the students coming back and forth. So to have everybody in one building is going to eliminate all of those issues. Staff members are going to be in their classroom when the bell rings to start class and when it ends. Kids are going to be there when the class starts and when it ends in all of their classes, not just their high school classes. So it's going to alleviate and take care of a lot of those issues that we've dealt with.
And people ask me all the time, why are we doing this? What's the purpose? What's the advantage? I feel there's many advantages. And I think the top 3 reasons would be, first of all, to utilize this building. We've got a wonderful building here with lots of great opportunities for our students and the equipment, the rooms, the way it's laid out. So to utilize our space is a big advantage. Also, the academic programming and the tech ed that we can offer our students, and mainly our 7th and 8th grade students who have more opportunity with programming being in this building. And then you just alluded to the fact that it'll be much easier for the staff, especially the shared staff that go back and forth between the buildings. So I would think those are probably the top 3. Are there other advantages, and then what are some of the concerns?
I think one of the other advantages that we're going to see, and I think we've seen a little bit of it in some of the high school sports earlier this year, but is having 7th and 8th graders and their excitement level School spirit, I think, is going to be a lot different and much better in the future years than it is right now. So I think that's going to be a huge impact. As far as concerns, I don't really hear a lot from the kids. We've answered a lot of their questions. I think we've done a nice job as a district communicating with parents, and we've taken a long time to get to this point, so it's not a surprise for anybody. So as far as the negatives, I don't really know what they are.
I do know when we started talking about this a few years ago, some of the parents were concerned about the socialization and mixing the 7th and 8th grade students with high school students and the age appropriateness. And I know we've addressed a lot of those issues. The other thing that I'm very comfortable with is the fact that we are bringing our administrative staff over here. We're keeping that staff in place for the first few years for sure to get that transition in. And also we're bringing more staff over here. And I know being in this building every day, between class periods, our staff is out supervising. We're adding actually more supervisors. The other concern I heard is the locker room situation, and we've addressed that where we will have the 7th and 8th grade students in separate locker rooms than the high school students. So I'm not sure if people realize, but we actually have 4 locker rooms in this building.
The students have not had any concern about that at all. I mean, we've shown them a map of the building where their classes are going to be. We do a Q&A at the end of all of our tours, and there really aren't the questions are questions about the daily goings on. They're not concerns even. They're just simple questions.
All right, well, thanks, and I know that we're in for a busy summer with the transition, and the kids are excited, and I think that once we get going, everyone will be at ease with the way we roll into it.
Right. No, and I appreciate the fact that the district's made a commitment to having Mr. Foster, Mr. Tilley, myself in this building during that transition period. I mean, we really do want what's best for our kids, and I think that's a really positive sign.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Well, let's meet our current high school principal, Mr. Scott Foster, and I know that we've been talking a lot about 712 over the past few years, and I know we seem to come from the 7th and 8th grade approach. We don't talk much about the high school students and staff and how they feel, and what is this going to mean to our high school students and our high school staff?
Well, I'll be frank and honest. I think our high school students have not put a lot of thought into it. I think they just see as new students going to be in the building. I think they're kind of wait and see kind of attitude. They're really focused on what they need to do to be successful high school students. They're worried about their scheduling, their goal setting, their athletics. And to be honest, in many ways, they already communicate. A lot of these are family members. We live in a small community, which we take a lot of pride in, whether it's at the rink or in the field house. They actually mentor some of those in youth sports already. So, really no concerns. The staff just really excited to have the opportunity to build relationships 712, and to work with their colleagues 712. I think we're really excited for that opportunity.
And I know as a principal, when we do the scheduling, it's going to be a little bit easier because we may have some staff that actually teach both middle school and high school, and so if we need that one section of math or that one section of social studies, it'll be much easier because they can actually stay in their room or close to their room in the same building and on the same bell schedule.
Well, I think you just summed it up as the same room. We're very fortunate that we still will be able to have a teacher in each room here. And I was talking to our world language teachers, for example. They use their room as really a learning center. There's words posted, there's artifacts, there's stuff from foreign countries. And they have 2 rooms and try to manage that. One, you deplete what you have. And 2, to be able to have students walk in, they're going to be comfortable, they're going to know that room. And that room is really an asset and a tool. And that goes across everything. Even when you get to tech ed, it's the safety factor, if those machines and the opportunity to use more things, but to know that equipment, to even see, the potential and build on it over that lifetime career here of 712 is really exciting.
And I know we've got some great high school mentors, and we're going to have students assigned to students to help mentor them along the way. And that leadership is so important from that junior, senior class. And I think if they set the tone, they set the example, I think it's just going to run all the way through. And I'm looking forward to watching our high school kids. They are mature, and I'm looking forward to watching them mentor the 7th and 8th grade students. They mentor 9th grade students right now, so now we're going to take that one step further, and they'll be mentoring 7th, 8th, and 9th grade students.
Correct. And this year we started with our student council, so it was actually all grades mentoring new students and 9th graders. But we're looking not only in two ways. One is directly doing the mentoring, but I can't be more proud of a student body that models what's expected, that their hallway behavior. When people tour our buildings, they can't believe it's already 11 years old. It looks like it was open this year. They model for the students, and that's how students learn best. They watch their teachers and other adults and their peers. And with our high school students, I'm very excited for them to be able to mentor and say that's what we want to act like. And I think from the tours and other things we heard, that's what happens. And I have no doubt that our great student body at Northland Pines High School will continue that tradition like they do for the ninth graders when they come in.
Well, great. Again, we're looking to a wonderful year next year, and we can't wait to make it happen.
I'm excited. I think it's everything we do, whether we're with Mr. Marine or Mr. Tilley and the parents and staff, we just see opportunities that we didn't even put out or present that I think is going to make our high school better and also the 7th and 8th grade better. So we're really excited to be part of it and looking forward to next year already.
Well, good. Thanks for all your hard work and your effort that you put into this transition. Appreciate it. Well, let's meet Mr. Tilley. And we know what a principal does, and we have a 7th and 8th grade principal, we have a high school principal, and your title is actually Dean of Students. And you're going to be working with all 7th through 12th grade students. Can you just explain what your role is and what do you do with the Dean of Students?
The main thing is to work with the principal on attendance, on discipline, collaborate with them on maybe parent phone calls. And being that I'm going to have two principals that I'm going to be working under, obviously I'm going to have to make sure that my communication with both of them is on a daily basis, because obviously things change pretty regularly. And obviously getting to know more kids, because I'll have the 7th all the way through the 12th graders. I've gotten to know some already. Right now we have anywhere from 20 to 40 students come after school and sit in our commons area.
Sure.
and do a great job. They're doing homework, they're getting ready maybe to go to practice later on in the day. And so we've started to make some of those relationships and those communications with those kids already. And they know the faces beginning now, so that next year I think it's going to be easier for them.
And I know it's all about building relationships, and I think you hit it right in the head when we look after school and we see middle school kids not only in the commons area here, but they're in the library here, and they're also in the field house, and they're in the wellness center.
Absolutely.
So we do have a number of middle school students who come over on their own after school on a daily basis, and I think it's great when they feel comfortable to do that. And they also ride the bus. Our buses here are pre-K through grade 12, so they are together on the bus before and after school. And when I see you out and I see you in action, I see you working with our kids, and someone says, well, what's his main title? And my response is, well, he's kind of like a parent, a teacher, a guidance counselor, a mentor, a relationship builder, and so you kind of have many hats, and basically you want to make sure the kids are having a good day, they're successful, but yet if they are tardy or they're missing school or you need to discipline them, you do it in a manner where it's very professional. And even if you discipline someone, I've seen where the very next day you're talking to that student like you guys are best friends. So I appreciate that, and I think the kids do also.
Well, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to support our principals. I'm trying to support our staff, our parents, our community. And I think that's part of it, is that you can't just think of it as a one direction. It's got to be multifaceted.
What are you most looking forward to next year, I guess?
I'm looking forward to being able to see how our kids mix with the 7th and 8th graders, particularly at sporting events. I think 7th and 8th graders don't quite go to those already. Our musical this year, we had them all in when they showed our school musical, and there was no issues whatsoever. So I think a lot of that is already building, and just seeing how we can grow from there. What homecoming is going to be like in the fall. I mean, those are things that you just kind of have a positive vibe, and you hope that it goes well.
Good. Again, thanks for what you do, and we're gonna work hard over the summer, and come September, we're going to be ready to go with our new grade structure. So, again, I really appreciate your hard work and the way you treat our students, and you are a true role model to our students.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
If you have concerns, if you have questions, feel free to contact any one of us at any time so we can discuss what those concerns might be. As far as the Northern Pines School District, go to our website, use our social media. There's a lot of information out there. If you can't find something, feel free to contact one of our school buildings or our offices, and we will make sure that we get you the answer, or we'll help you find what you're looking for. Northern Pines is thriving. It's a great district, great staff, great kids, and great families. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks, and have a great day.